Fellas, what up? So I haven't made a video for my stealth guys yet, and this is exactly what this video is. This video is specifically for stealth transgender men, but particularly black transgender men that are stealth. Why? Because I'm a black transgender man and I can give advice to them that I can't give to white guys because I didn't transition into a white guy. There you go. However, as usual, this advice can be used universally if you can flex it to who you are, your lifestyle, and some of the situations that you may be in. For example, if you are of another race or ethnic group and you happen to be around our community quite a bit, or you grew up in our community, then you may experience some of these things. Some of these things are specific to stealth black transgender men because you are transitioning into a black man. First, you will be black and seen as that way by society. If you don't think about how society views black men, especially in the current political climate, then you are going to get some very rude awakenings along the way, and it's not going to make you feel good. You already feel bad because you've been rejected by everybody around you. When you finally get to a point where you're passing so that you can be stealth and have some peace, it's a happiness that overwhelms you that you don't want to throw away, or you don't want to cash it in at the cost of other people dampening that because they find out, or other people treating you like a black man, because that's exactly how you're going to get treated. So these are tips that will help you while you're out there in the world so that you can navigate life real smooth and you can enjoy it and you can love yourself as the black man that you're becoming. Dr. Liam here. This is your coach, human movement scientist. I am a research scientist, master trainer, and an epidemiologist. Let's get into it. All right. First thing that I'm going to say, with all that said before, with societal pressures, the norms that exist right now, the way that we are all lumped as if we're a monolith, the way we're assumed to be more aggressive, less empathetic, less compassionate, less feeling. Society seems to think that we don't like our mothers, we don't like our women, we don't like puppies and kittens. I mean, we just, with all that said, the first thing is make sure you love yourself. You know who you are. You know who the man you are is. So decide who you're going to be and how you're going to present yourself to society. Does that mean that you let other people define who you are? No. Don't get emotional about that. What that means is 2020 hindsight will kick you in your ass someday, because at some point you may want something that how you present is going to get it. Whether it be a position somewhere or consideration for something or a lady or whatever. How you present, how you attack your goals, the ferocity that you attack your goals with, or, being docile about things and easy breezy. Letting other people determine who you are will do that. It'll make you easy breezy and docile. It'll make you emotional and it'll raise your cortisol. What does that do? Raise estrogen. What does that do? Take you backwards. We don't want that. First things first, you're going to be assumed to be aggressive. That's just the society we live in. If you don't dim yourself down and be a little docile, then you're going to be assumed to be aggressive. I speak with a lot of assertion. It's not because I'm an aggressive guy. It's because this is how I talk. Love flows out of me just as easily as clarity with my boundaries. Make sure you're the same way. Most of the men that you meet that are assumed to be aggressive are usually the nicest guys in the room. They just have clarity on others in the room. There's no need to tap dance or put on a show. But there's also no need to cash someone's check. Someone assumes something about you, don't get mad and then prove them right. You know who you are. Prove them wrong, hell. If it means that much to you. If it's somewhere like a job or someone you're working with, if it means that much to you, show them I'm about my craft and I'm the best. If it's day-to-day interaction, fuck that shit. Like, you really have to choose your battles. Because life-altering situations happen moment by moment. And a man can control himself. And usually if a bunch of this is coming, none of this is coming, so there's no need for any of it. Go into situations, lead with respect. If you don't get it back, tighten up and keep it factual and business. There's no emotion there. You get upset, you react. Now you set yourself back to bitch mode. might become your default setting, you're not going to get respect from anyone. You got to learn when. Are there some situations where you should come out of your body on some shit? Hell yes. You'll know when. Those are threatening situations where you have to neutralize a threat. Otherwise, but just remember, going into situations, you are going to be assumed to be the aggressor. This is why emotional control as a black man is so crucial. Because no one is going to listen to you first. Number 2, protect your happiness. When you transition, especially when you hit stealth mode, when you hit the mode where you can blend, I've had people ask me all the time, why do you do what you do? And I tell them, when you get to a certain point, being stealth really isn't a thing. Like right now, if someone I know in my life that doesn't know about me saw these videos, they're not going to approach me about this because of the kind of man I am. Not because things will get violent, but because what the fuck business is it of yours anyway? I'm almost 50 years old. I wish you would walk up to me and ask me about something that's my business. It's that simple. When I was younger and I was excited, I didn't tell people, but I was so happy and grateful because we find a happiness that most people will never understand. The happiness of truly being who you are. Most people know who they really are on the inside and they suppress it to a point of anger and projection to others. When you find that happiness, don't share it with everybody because a lot of people will try to fucking kill it. Because you're not supposed to be happy. Remember, you're supposed to be miserable. You're trans. That's all everybody hears because they hear it from people who don't know who they are. They don't get to see our stories of triumph. That's what I talk about here. Have I been through some shit? Hell yes. Did it break me? Look. Nope. That's what I'm here to help you with. When you're out in the world, like I said, lead with respect, but protect your happiness. People ask you, man, why are you always so happy? Because I'm grateful. Life is good. Don't tell them shit. And that's anyone. Because people love to destroy other people's happiness. I don't care how safe you feel with someone. If you haven't known them for a long time, if you do not tell them you're trans. Why? People lose focus when they focus on the wrong things. They lose focus on everything. Then the entire world becomes about one thing you've told them. Think about a time where even if you haven't told someone that you're trans, but you told someone something, and then all of a sudden everything becomes about that. Like one time I told one of my cousins about not speaking with my family, and she didn't know how deep it went. When I tell you this has been years ago that this happened, but she still to this day will be like, so have you talked to your mom? I asked her, why do you keep bringing that shit up? Because that's the only thing that you think will make me unhappy. Do you know I told you after I got over it? But see, I caused my own headache there. But I learned after her. And I put her in check several times because her and her father, they don't talk. So as soon as she asked me that, well, have you talked to your daddy? She hasn't asked me since. See what I'm saying? Don't expect acceptance from your family when you blend into society. Expect your family to treat you like it's day one of your transition. It's been 30 years. And when I tell you, I had people still flip-flopping my name. And I was like, all right, you know what? That bullshit, you gonna cut that the fuck out. And then I cut them off. You will not play with me like that. You go play with somebody else. Because you can remember every rap song, every song, your favorite show, your DoorDash deliveries. You can remember my damn name. I don't care about what you want. I don't care about what's inside of you. I'm grown. That's where people get it mixed up. You're imposing your feelings onto me. That don't count. You hold that and fix whatever it is inside of you that is stopping you from being free. Like I am. LGBTQ folks. Well, LGBTQ folks. When you blend and you don't pass, remember they don't know. So even if you enter a situation, like I've seen guys that are gender nonconforming, that are in their process, out working, and I make sure that I validate them. I make sure that I let them know I see them, and they look at me so weird, like, but you're a black guy. I've even had people where I've had to say to them, look, man, I'm a trans guy, okay? And they've been like, what? Yeah. See, life is comfortable, actually. You don't have to do all this if you don't want to be seen. We're everywhere. And that's what I always say, we're everywhere. You're just going through your phase of wanting to be seen. Once you get over that, you'll be all right. But you got to remember. So let's say you get into it with somebody that's lesbian, gay, bisexual, or queer identifying. The first thing they're going to say is you are against them. You have an issue with them. And it's going to make you bust out laughing. This has happened to me before. It's happened to several other guys before, especially when it's in a workplace type situation or you're working together. But you then have the decision to either let your emotions get a hold of you, or you can show people that everyone isn't ignorant. And that's exactly what I do. What I tell people is I don't impose my own personal feelings on other folks. Why would I? What does it matter to me who you are? And I make them feel this big because they are imposing their feelings on other people. That's why you assume that I don't like you because you're gay when you have no fucking idea who I am anyway. When you pass and you're stealth, you are the definition of you have no fucking idea who you're talking to. Out of 80% of the conversations that you get into with people. And you're going to have to learn self-control. And that's even on the anxiety and depression end, because it can get to a point where you start losing faith in humanity. You're like, damn. When I started having conversations with some guys about women, I was like, damn, y'all, do you like girls? And where are you meeting these women? Like, what the hell happened, bruh? And vice versa. Well, you find out a lot about women too. Okay, speaking of which, dealing with women, particularly black women. Now, you're going to have to make a choice. Some of y'all try to be too much of the homegirl. You can't run to women for safety, even if that's who you communicate with better. You're going to have to get yourself broken into communicating with men. Even though it makes your head hurt sometimes, you can decide what guys to communicate with. The cool part about guys is we don't get deep. The guys that do get deep, they're usually really fucking cool. And you'll click. And no, don't tell them. Unless they're going to tell you their deepest, darkest secret too. What the hell? Remember, you're developing your life. But this is also why you develop a support system outside of all of that, where you can trust. So you can actually talk about those things that you can't talk about with anybody else. But most importantly, remember, first and foremost, the world sees you as a black man first. Decide how you're going to present that. Decide how you're going to take care of yourself, your body. You can't have a beard and big ass hips and expect for people to give you respect. You're a black man. That doesn't mean it's right. It's just what it is. That's why focusing on your body is very important. Not just for the aesthetic, but because you're validating you. You're confirming you in that way. By doing that, that builds a certain amount of character, a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of shut your fucking mouth in situations where you don't even have to run it. And you can see the difference. Even in cis men, you can see the difference in a guy that's just mouthy and fucking ugh. It's an ick feeling that you get. Versus a man who can control himself. Who is accepting and tolerating and compassionate without being a simp. And placating to roles. It took me a long time to become very comfortable with the Renaissance man that I am. And also very comfortable with how stoic and patriarchal I am in certain ways. But I accept all parts of myself. I still transition into a man that I love. But I'm a black man first. Because people don't see a trans man first. And even if they did, I'd still be a black man first. So remember these things, guys, while you're out here living life. Don't forget who you are, because then you'll get lost. I'm going to make a video about that too. But don't lean into it, because wasn't that the point of being stealth? Besides the fact that no one should make excuses for any type of behavior. Like, well, it's because I'm trans. Nah. That's because that's who you are. Fix it. Until next time. Like, share, subscribe. Drop a comment. Ain't nobody's uncle took me to the prom. I didn't even go to my proms. The guys that were my friends, we played basketball together, shit, wrestled and shit. Like, that was hilarious. And the stories, oh my God. I mean, the stories. The shorts, the dude that said I was a sweetheart. I went to, oh Lord, I was shooting guns and going fishing. Y'all take care.